Quasi here, and in this video I want to share with you why your subconscious mind just won't listen to you and why you can't program it. And even though you try the affirmations, the visualizations, the guided meditations, and the NLP, you'll still keep falling back to those old patterns and old ways of being. This video is going to be very, very crucial for you, because by the end of this, you're going to learn the 3 keys to help you not just step out of the old programming, but learn how to become more moldable so you can program any idea in there that you want and actually have it produce results in your life. So let's get right to the point, okay? If you want to understand your subconscious mind, you've got to understand how you work. How do you go about every single day? How have you been living? What is it that you want? And what is it that you've been programmed to achieve? The biggest problem is we all want something, but we've been programmed to experience something else completely different. Our desires never really match the way we've been conditioned, okay? And because of this, we will always suffer, right? But this is just how it is. We always want what we can't have. And that's why the pursuit towards our desires really begins. So the challenge becomes, how do we get to that right place of being, program ourselves correctly so we're no longer struggling against ourselves? Because the biggest battle you go through is the one against yourself, right? So let's understand how the subconscious mind works and how beliefs get formed. By the way, I made a video on this. If you click up here, there's going to be a little eye. If you click on that, I'll attach the video in there as well as in the comments. But really how your subconscious mind works is in the following way. Anytime you are accustomed and you're presented with a new stimulus, a new idea, it enters as an opinion. You don't really know whether to believe it or not because you haven't seen sufficient evidence. It doesn't have as much grounding in your psyche, okay? Because of that, it always begins as an opinion. And now what happens is this opinion gets stronger and stronger the more you experience proof, the more you keep thinking about it, the more you keep feeling something towards it, okay? And then it becomes a belief, okay? You really start to believe it because you start to see it everywhere. And then this belief eventually evolves into a conviction, okay? And this conviction is something you will never challenge. Please check out this video for a detailed understanding on that. I'm not going to get too detailed into that in this one. But essentially, to give you an example, let's say you start to really believe that you're not good enough, right? Let's say you believe that, I'm not good enough to sell my products, I'm not good enough to sell my services, and I'm not good enough to make money, or I'm not good enough for this partner, whatever it may be. And you start to tell yourself, this opinion comes in, wait a second, maybe it's because I'm brown. Or maybe some other absurd thing. Maybe it's because I'm short. Or maybe it's because, I talk this way. Maybe it's because of some other insecurity about me, okay? And you start to have this opinion. You start to have this thought. Maybe someone said it. Maybe someone commented on your Instagram, or maybe someone commented on one of your social media posts. And now what happens is you start to look at that opinion and thought, and you correlate your failures toward that, right? And you kind of connect it together. The feeling of pain from your failures is now connected to your insecurity. What happens is now you form a neural network. Now you're like, wait, I'm a failure because I'm brown. I'm a failure because, brown people in America and minorities don't get a chance, or whatever other thing that you make up. And now you truly start to believe it because the emotional intensity of it is so high. So whenever a thought is there and you put enough emotion into it, it eventually evolves into a belief, whether it's a positive or negative emotion, right? Most of the time it is negative emotion because those are the ones, we live in fear mode nowadays more often than not. And now what happens is the more you keep, acting on this and you go around and you start to repeat this to yourself and you keep feeling the pain more and more. It's like, life isn't fair. The world isn't fair to brown people. I'll never be successful because I'm brown. It becomes a conviction. Okay, so whatever insecurities that you have, it eventually goes from this opinion to belief to a conviction. A conviction is something you'll never challenge. You just say, it's just this way because I'm brown. That's the level of conviction you'll get to. And some of this stuff becomes absurd. We never really challenge these beliefs and where they came from. And that's the problem. They've become second nature to us. We start to see through these lenses. We can't look at the lens we're wearing and just take them off, right? So that's how a belief gets formed and how it becomes a conviction. Now, what most people try to do is they try to change this conviction without actually seeing this as a conviction in the first place. They'll see it, but they won't really investigate it. So what they will do is they'll try the affirmations and the visualizations, they'll try the techniques. So whenever they feel this pain and this resistance, the most common thing people will do is tell an affirmation like, oh no, I'm successful, I'm worthy, I'm rich. An interesting thing happens here because all of these things that you're doing, they are techniques, right? They're supposed to help facilitate the transformation, but they're not the key principle. They're just a technique itself. The technique is just an extension of the principle. Okay, so I'm going to get into what I really mean by that, but for now, just bear with me. Essentially, you're trying to now change what you believe instead of destroying first what you believe and stepping into a new belief. So in order to understand that, think about it this way. How can you have a piece of paper that's already filled in with color and try to paint something new in it? You've got to get a new piece of paper. You've got to find a way to erase the old stuff you've put in there, right? So this is the process of deprogramming yourself first. In order to reprogram yourself, you've got to deprogram yourself. In order to make something, it's got to come out of nothing. That's how God or the universe came about. It came from nothing, right? So we try to, when our cups are full, try to fill it up with more tea instead of emptying the cup first. So in that sense, doing these affirmations in a state of resistance, doing these techniques from a state of resistance is very, very futile. Which brings me to my next point that you've got to understand, which is intention. Okay? Intention literally means, what place is this coming from? The affirmations and the visualizations that I'm doing, what place of being is this coming from? Okay? Which brings me to the two distinctions, doing versus being. You can do something mindlessly, or you can really do it from a place of being that serves the goal itself. Okay? I've made lots of videos about this. You can click up here and check that out. But the key thing I want you to take away from this is, what is the intention that you have? Are you doing these affirmations to resist this lack of self-worth, let's say? Let's say you're not able to sell your services and you can't attract qualified prospects and qualified clients. So what you do is, I'm good enough, my services are good enough, I can sell. But, whatever you do, whatever you tell yourself, it just becomes more of a means to a resistance. The very fact that you have to tell yourself these things actually affirms that you're not good enough, because someone who's good enough wouldn't need to tell themselves this. So really investigate how these beliefs come in the first place. They always come to you. The opinions and the thoughts always come to you at a place of emptiness, when you're the most receptive. When you're in a place of resistance, when you're feeling too strongly about something, you're never going to be receptive, right? So the best way to reprogram yourself is to first be receptive and be in an empty, relaxed state in the first place. Just like when you're watching TV, you're relaxed. That's why you get easily programmed with these ideas on television, right? So most people come from resistance and keep focusing on the resistance. Everything that they do, all of the techniques that they try, all become a focusing mechanism towards the resistance. You want money because you don't want to be poor. You don't want money because you want to be rich. You want money because you don't want to be poor. You're doing these affirmations and you want to be successful because you don't want to be unsuccessful. So the focus now doesn't become on moving towards something. It actually becomes on moving away from something else. This is a key distinction you've got to understand as well. Now let's get to the 3 keys that you can begin implementing right now. By the way, I've already kind of hinted at these keys, but I'll just summarize everything that we've talked about in this video for you. The best way to reprogram yourself, the best way to reprogram your subconscious mind is, number 1, reprogram yourself from a place of emptiness and relaxation. The best times I've found are first thing in the morning and last thing before bed. When you're just about to fall asleep, you can listen to your affirmations, you can say your affirmations to yourself, or when you wake up in the morning first thing, and you can visualize then. Because throughout the day, you're confronted with lots of things, and it brings out pre-existing fears and, desires within you, and it just brings up more and more of that resistance. So if you're going to be doing these techniques, the best time to do it is at least, right before you fall asleep or first thing in the morning as you wake up. Right? That was actually number 2, the time frame when you should be doing them. Number 1 was coming from a relaxed state of being. Number 3 is whatever affirmations, whatever new program that you're trying to program yourself with, make sure you confirm them every single day. Any little thing that signals progress towards you becoming someone new, to you achieving something that you want to achieve, make sure you reward it. Make sure you notice it and appreciate it and reward it. So to give you an example of that, let's say you want to program yourself to be a successful business person or make 20K a month in your business. And let's say this month, this week, you've had a client reach out to you for your services. Whenever someone reaches out to you for your services, this actually signals progress towards what you want. Make sure you notice that and give yourself a mental pat on the back. Oh my God, it's working. Oh wow, this is really working. Wait, someone responded really well to one of my prospecting emails. Fantastic, this is really working. I'm actually moving forward. When you do this, what happens is now you're crossing the threshold from opinion to belief. Because when you show yourself confirmation, now your reticular activating system is like, wait a second, this could just happen. And now it starts to filter out for things that actually lead to that. Okay, this is the biggest reason why business owners stay stuck at a certain level and they can't notice the opportunities right under their noses. Because they're always focused on what's not working rather than what is. Start to notice more of what is working and ignore what's not working. If you're going to address what's not working, at least address it from a positive frame of being, from a positive standpoint. Like, oh, here's something I can improve on. If I improve on this, I'm going to get better. Right? So with that, I conclude this video. I'm going to do a quick recap for you. The 3 keys we talked about in programming yourself is, first of all, number 1, you must come from a deprogrammed state, a state of relaxation, a state where you're not stressed out. Don't mutter your affirmations when you're, super stressed out, when you're in a terrible place. Like, let's say you're in a stressful situation right now with your boss or something, or you're in an interview. Just don't go to the bathroom and start saying your affirmations to yourself. Whatever is, just let it be. Let it come up, let it be, become emptier. And now you can program yourself with whatever it is that you want. Okay? Number 2, the best times I've personally found are first thing in the morning, last thing before bed. And number 3, make sure you move up the levels from opinion to belief to conviction. You'll see that it'll become a part of you. Once you start to really look for confirmations and moving forward. I remember I started at $0 a month in my coaching business, and then I grew to 5K a month, and I really rewarded that progress. But what I started to see was, when I was going to 5K a month, I was inconsistent because I also started to place a lot of emphasis on what's not working. To give you an example, I was looking at the clients that I didn't sign as opposed to the clients that I did. So I shifted my focus from that and only focused on the clients that I did sign. And this actually made me progress much more, right? And then I hit 20K, 100K, 150K a month. And all of this happened because I progressively moved from that old version of myself to this current version of myself. I'm going to attach a link click the little I and also in the description of how you can really reprogram your identity at the very, very core, so you can become someone different and as a result experience a different reality. Thank you so much for watching this. I sincerely hope this was helpful. Make sure you click the links in the description or in the comments, the pinned comments, where I'm going to attach all of these linked videos. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little bell there so you're notified of any new video that I put out. The free Facebook group is also open for you to take advantage of. The link for that is also in the description. And also, if you wanted to sign up for a consult to see if we're a good fit to work together, this isn't for everyone, so make sure you just fill up a quick quiz to schedule your free call with us to see if we can work together and help you take your business to the next level. The link for that is also in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time. Peace.